Welcome all of you, and here you will see how you will utilize to create a real application, means enterprises application. So this module name is JE, means Java Enterprises application, and here we will go through a lot of concept what you will learn, and here I am going to give the overview of that what concept you will learn here, like you will go with different Java servlet technology, what servlet will do, how it will work. I will explain in detail little later, but here you will go with the why J2EE you are going to learn. After that, how to build a servlet, what is meaning of HTTP protocol, now how the servlet API is working, what is the life cycle of servlet, what are the servlet objects, and how to handle exceptions and errors in servlet. So here I'm going to start with J2EE application. Before starting this session, I want to create one idea in your mind so it will be easy to understand. I hope almost all of you are going through now Facebook. So suppose ever you think in your Facebook, whenever you will log in, whenever you will write www.facebook.com, immediately it will open Facebook homepage, and there you are going to enter your username and password. So this user and name and password, after clicking on submit button, who is taking where this username and password is going? So obviously it will come to your mind, oh, it is going to Facebook server. So on the Facebook server, who is taking your username and password? Based on that, who is taking this username password is correct or not? If it is correct, then it will return your home page, means timeline page of your Facebook. So this entire concept how going to happen after learning J2E, you all will be able to create Facebook type of project. Easily you will be able to understand. So if I will take the same Facebook example, so you can feel that you are a client and your request is going to Facebook server. Means here one concept will introduce, that is a client server concept. If you will see here I have written open and standard based platform for developing, deploying and managing entire web enabled, server centric and component based enterprise application. So here almost I'm using 5 to 6 keywords which are very important. Later one by one I will explain, but this time try to understand the meaning of server centric. Means your request will go to server, Facebook server. Facebook server will take your request, will execute your request and will return response to you. And this entire process, this entire exercise you are doing on web. So you are saying it is web enabled. Means you are going to send your request to server via the browser. So it is a web enabled. So here in JE, in entire JE concept, you will learn how to create different applications on web and how server will take your request and will return response to you. So here I want to make very clear one point in your mind. Client, if I'm talking about a client, means it should come to your mind, I'm talking about HTML, JavaScript and CSS. If I'm talking about a server, then it should come to your mind, server is like a Facebook server. Here for JE, in entire application, I will show you Tomcat server. Tomcat server. Tomcat server is here working as a web server. It will take your request. After that, will process your request and will return response to you. So here, if I try to build entire J2E, so what mind makeup should be there? So here, it is an API and technology specification, development and deployment platform, standard and production quality implementation, and if it is compatibility, test suite, CTS is there. What is meaning? See here. Here, if I try to explain like till now in core Java, what you learn, you will be able to create your application in a single tier. Means you will create application, when you will run, you will be able to see the result. But in client server environment, there are the two tier. Means one is the client tier, second is the server tier. Like that, you can create 3-tier architecture. One is the client, second is the server, and that server is going to take help from some other server. So that is a three tiers architecture, like a database server. In the same way, you have RPC, remote procedural call. Now here you are going to interact remotely, means with different object you want to interact remotely. So here, if you are going through the three-tier architecture, so as I told you, your web tier is one tier, your server tier is the second tier, your database tier can say is the third tier. Like that, for three tier, you can assume any concept. Not only database, in place of database, you can assume any concept. But this time you keep only these 3 points in your mind to understand servlet. Means client request, means request will go from HTML to server. Server will give that request to your database. Database will execute the request, will return response to server. Server will return to you. Inside server, how it will do that? I'll explain. So here it is a standard application server. It is a proprietary application server. As I told you, here you are going to use Tomcat server as your application server. Now here, suppose if anyone will talk about the enterprises application, so it came to your mind because of the Facebook, there are the web tier. Web tier means your UI part. Second, server tier. Third, you are writing your database. Fourth, you are having a different services. What you are using, like most of you are buying product online. So in online, different products you are getting through the services. So here, this entire tier we can divide into the multiple layer. One is the presentation layer, that is your view, that is your UI, that is your HTML. So HTML part, what are the HTML pages you are creating? That will come under the presentation logic. In the same way, what you will write to create server, how server will take your request, how server will give response to you. So that is the business logic. In the same way, for accessing database, what the logic you will write, that is the data access logic. In the same way, if server is going to use other services like Amazon or different services, so that is a different system services. But here, most of the time, these four tiers we are using in application. But I think on your level, you should go with only the three part. One is the view, that is the presentation logic, that is HTML. Second is the business logic, that is on server side, how to take a request, how to give response. And after that, your data access logic, how to write your data access logic. Here, the evolution of enterprise application framework reflect how flexible you want to make changes, where the system services are coming from. In the same way, it is an open standard solution also. Here you are free to use any component, any container. Here you are putting your all component inside the container to define you can say to define a lightweight component. If any component will be part of the container, it will be the lightweight component here. In the same way, as you will move ahead, here for a developer point of view, here how it will generate the value, what value it generates for developer. Developer can use any J2EE application for development and deployment. What will be your role in the industry when you will come to ITC Infotech there? This will be your role to develop the application and to deploy the application. Here, use production quality, standard implementation, which is free for development and deployment. Here, you use high-end commercial J2EE product for scalability and fault tolerance. So here, for infrastructure, who will provide the infrastructure, who will provide the server in different scenario, different server, how will come. So that will come through the scalability. Here, vast amount of J2EE community resources, a lot of resources are available to take the J2EE application. So you can go with any resources and can get any application. Here, many JEE related books, articles, tutorial are available on internet. So after the class, after these 4 weeks of session, you should refer different internet resources or different book. You will get more idea. Here can use of the sell third party business component. So these on a developer point of view, here you will see these all are the profits available there. For the vendor point of view, vendor means your client who is giving projects. Vendor work together on a specification and then compete in implementation in the area of scalability, performance, reliability, availability, management and development tool, and so on. Means on a single package, your vendor is getting a lot of facility using the J2E because of the container. It will be scalable, they will get the better performance, it will be reliable, it will be easy to manage. Don't worry, these all points when I will show practically, it all will come to your mind how it is going to happen. Here, freedom to innovate while maintaining the profitability of application. So anytime if suppose your vendor don't want to use a given tool and want to change the tool, yes, here is the facility, it easily can change the tool. In the same way here, for the business customer, what type of benefit, how it is generating the value, it is the application portability. It's the portable. You can execute anywhere. Many implementation choices are possible based on the various requirements. If requirements is getting changed and in future if you want to remove some part and you want to add some other things, yes, it is available here in J2E application. In the same way, price price control you can do with the help of scalability. Scalability means infrastructure. Depends on scenario, different infrastructure required. So here you can provide different infrastructure. Because of that, performance will increase. Here best to breed for application and platform, and here large developers pools are available for the business customer. So here 3 points I have taken: one for the developer, second for the vendor, third for the business customer. And now to provide these all in entire J2E, however, this is a little older one. Current scenario Java E7 we are using in our industry, and there a lot of, if you will see, a lot of tools are available, lot of technologies are available to use to create JE application. Here, out of these all tools, in this session, in 4 week session, you only will go through one concept, that is your servlet. You only will learn how servlet will work. That's it. Servlet and JSP. One concept is JSP and servlet. Only these two concepts you will learn in these 4 week session. And here, yes, now I'm ready to explain few depth, because till now that was a core theory. Might be some 10-20% idea came to your mind how it is going to work, but here I'm going to explain. First, try to understand the purpose of container and component. Container do their work invisibly. No complicated API. Container implements J2E. Look the same to component. Vendor making the container have a great freedom to innovate. You can assume container is like a bucket. Bucket is there in your house. So you can assume bucket is a container. Inside the bucket, if you will keep any information, if you will keep in your bucket, suppose if you have 10 boxes you are keeping in your bucket, so all 10 boxes are the part of same bucket, all are getting same environment. So this is a big benefit of container. Container is providing the same infra for all the components. Component means boxes and container means that bucket. In the same way here for development role, J2E development roles means here is the whenever you are going to design your team. So in your team, there are the component provider, bean provider, application assembler, deployer, platform provider, container provider, tool provider, system admin. So there are many roles here you will get when you will come to ITC in future. So you will be part of any role. Either you will be deployer or you will be the component provider, or these are the different roles what are available in one project. So here, like suppose there are one very important part, that is deployment descriptor. Deployment descriptor will inform to server how that project have to deploy on this one production environment. Here you are providing information about the managing the different component, how to handle transaction, how to handle security, how to handle persistency, how to allow declarative customization, what are the XML files, how to provide, enable portability of code. So later I will show you practically how deployment descriptor file you are going to create. And finally, you can see you have one application server. As I explained, everything will execute on the application server. And here I will use application server as a Tomcat. Now I'm ready to start with J2EE overview, and here inside the overview we will start with different components, that all details we will start. So here before starting overview, now first I want to summarize up to this stage, and still now you are able to understand, but I'm expecting only 20% part you are able to understand how the entire J2E you are going to organize, what is purpose of J2E. After learning J2E, what you will be able to do means you will be able to create a Facebook type of application project. So hope you are able to understand up to this stage. In next session I will start with J2E overview. Thank you very much. Thank you.